Okay, perfect. So
Mhm.
it looks like we're finally live now officially. All right, guys. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. We are live again with yet another episode of Pitch Ground Live. And with me, we have two amazing folks today from the team of Imvidu. Both of them are the founders of the company. They're doing extremely amazing job. And we're going to be talking about one of the most tedious and one of the most boring stuff, which is to create contents. But apparently, that is what
Boring.
works
It's
on
not
the
boring.
internet
Fine.
right now. That's how you want to drive growth. But how do you compete against all the craziness and madness of people who are generating 10 times more content than you? This is exactly what we're going to be talking about today, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot of cool stuff and a lot of cool strategies, regardless whether you get Imvidu or not. Our goal is always to make sure that you get the right value and you understand what's really happening right now in the industry in terms of marketing, in terms of the reels and shorts explosion right now. And 2023 is going to be the year of short videos and how you can leverage and take opportunity of this short video as a platform. We'll also be sharing some stats, statistics. We'll also be sharing how we are using short videos as an opportunity at PitchGround. And I frequently keep posting on my Instagram if any one of you is following. So again, a lot of stuff to dive into, a lot of amazing stuff that you guys are going to learn at the same time. So yeah, stick around till the end and it's going to be a lot of fun. So before we get started, Rachit, Jack, if one of you can get started and just quickly introduce yourself before we dive into the webinar, that would be absolute amazing.
Yeah, 100%. You guys can hear me, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm Jag. I'm one of the founders, and we've got Ruchit, one of my other founders. We also have one more co-founder who's not on the chat today, but he's been with us from day one as well. Look, we started, well, it's been nearly 2.5 years now. We've been chipping away at it. So yeah, so look, it's our little baby that we're sort of, bringing up as a startup, and hopefully trying to make it easy for people to just start creating content, like you said, especially video content. So yeah, there's a bit of a backstory in terms of how we got started and all that, and more than happy to share that as well. But I'll just let Ruchit introduce himself first as well.
Hey guys, yeah, I'm Ruchit. As Jag introduced, I'm the other co-founder, and with us there is a third guy, Vinay, as well. So yeah, I mean, I have been entrepreneur my whole entire career. I graduated in 2016, and right after that, I started my own venture. I ran that for about 4.5 years. I exited successfully, and right after that, I met Jag, and we're sort of there is this story how we started Imvidu, which I think we'll cover later on. But yeah, I mean, my expertise sort of revolves around building startups, products, and all those things. So yeah, excited to have this session and happy to answer anything that comes along.
Yeah, so just in terms of the team split, so I wear the CEO, marketing, sales, customer success hat. Ruchit wears UI, UX. We actually share that responsibility from time to time, customer success, but more the software engineering, the CTO hat, I guess. And we now third co-founder is the technical lead. So he's full on just, the big techie in the team. And yeah, I think one thing that I do want to say is that we're a pretty well-balanced team between us. We've got startup experience, we've got business experience, but, we've been sort of designing the platform, the startup ourselves. We've built the platform ourselves, and we're sort of marketing it ourselves at the moment. So we're a small little team, but we're pretty nifty, I think.
Awesome, perfect, guys. Before we dive into the presentation, let's understand a bit more about why Imvidu. Why are you guys so passionate about solving this specific problem or any other problems that exist in the market?
Yeah. So I actually ran a previous business in the employee training. So I was doing a bit of consulting, helping employers create training programs, onboarding employees, right? And as part of that, naturally, I was creating, I created dozens and dozens of videos. I was creating content, written content. I wrote ebooks. And one thing that I came across time to time, again and again, was just video editing back then. Like, this is like 3-4 years ago. Just so tedious, right? Just so tedious, especially when, because a lot of my videos were talking style videos. So I was talking to the camera, right? So tutorials, demos, training type of videos. And my God, like the pain that I went through to try to edit those sort of videos, it was just huge. And coincidentally, I actually wanted to get some work done for the consulting business. And that's where I sort of reached out online. Richard responded. And even though the work was relating to the consulting side of the business, we started to discuss this problem of content and how that's actually more tedious and more painful for me right now. And Ruchit at that time also had an affinity for that, right? Running his own SaaS, creating content. And he understood the problem as well. And we're like, you know what? The problem is like, it's so deep, it's so big. And then we started to look at it. We sort of did a deep dive into the problem. And we also realized not just video, but when we looked at the whole process of content creation itself, right? Because there's the pre-production phase. So that's your design, your ideation, coming up with new ideas, fresh content. Then you've got the production phase, which is actually creating that content. And then you've got the post-production phase, which is probably the most important part, right? Getting it out there, distributing it. So a lot of little challenges across the whole sort of domain. And we're like, you know what? We want to tackle some of these issues and hopefully make life easier for a lot of people, including us, because we were doing a lot of content.
Yeah, but before asking you the next question, like I'll give one of the simplest hack of creating content. Just invite a bunch of people in your industry, sit on a table, grab a phone, keep it, and just record the whole conversation. Whenever you're going to an event, just record the speaker, right? So when you start looking for content, it's everywhere around you. You can record this piece of content and create a reel out of it. You can create a short out of it. The point is that contents are everywhere around you. You don't need to scratch your brain to really kind of like repurpose content to create contents. And again, we'll be diving into everything, but I just want to give you guys a glimpse of how we create content as well. And again, we're going to show you guys the whole process, everything, so that you can really understand and dive deep into understanding it's not that difficult. All you need is a good light, a good camera, a good content, and that's it.
You don't even need that. Like, you don't even need that nowadays.
Like this, like I do this lights like everywhere all the time, right? This ring light is like right in front of me every time. Like, and I've turned my sort of like room into a studio. And all I need is like just a camera, just light and this amazing mic. That's all. That's all you need today to just go ahead and share your experience, record a video. And not only that, if you want to like just scale up as well, I'll also share some amazing stuff with you guys as well that I specifically use to kind of like, again, speed up on the content process. Just a moment. Again, I've prepared everything for you guys, so that I'm not bullshitting. Check this out. So this is a teleprompter. As you can see over here, this is a teleprompter that I use all the time. You can get like any teleprompter that you want, like any brand, doesn't matter. But just use this. It makes your content process so much more easier. And again, this is how I create contents. It's so freaking easy to now create like long form contents as well. And this year specifically, like my focus is to start focusing a lot more on YouTube, start creating some long form contents and just start scaling up. This is all you require. And once you have those, chop it down into multiple small forms and just start posting. And remember, short form videos is not going to help you get customers. It's going to get you attention of your potential prospects. That's one thing I think everyone needs to understand and remember before you dive into understanding why you need to also build long form content. So use those short forms, repurpose your contents, drive the users, and then from there, it just makes it so much more easier for you to start filling up your entire leads pipeline with all of these users. And right now, again, like I said, Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube, they are pushing short contents like crazy because there are hungry advertisers who wants to pay and target users who are watching short form videos right now. So this means that all of these platforms needs to build an audience for this specific reason. So again, we're going to dive into, I hope you guys are enjoying so far. Drop in some crazy fire emoji if you're liking the content so far.
I'm curious to know who is creating content, whoever's watching now, if they could sort of let us know what you do. Maybe like, are you creating content? Are you doing marketing? Are you doing content for yourself, or are you doing content for other people, your clients? That'd be really good to
know. Before we dive into that, guys, if you're liking so far, please hit that emoji. Please give us some fire emoji. We need to see some crazy energy tonight. Before we dive into more processes, share more stuff with you guys, not just dive into the product side, but also share what and how to do things. Guys, I need to see some emojis. Come on. I need to see some energy from you guys.
Mad is on fire.
There you go. We're slowly starting to seeing in. Guys, again, be active, because we're going to be picking one random winner who's going to be active as another winner who's going to be getting the Imvidu code. So make sure that you guys are active throughout. Okay, let's go and let's move forward, Jack. Let's dive into the presentation. Let's show the nice, good stuff before we dive into amazing stuff.
All right, just give me a sec. I'll just share my screen. All right, let me know you can see that, yeah?
That's perfect.
All right, so I want to start with the problem, yeah? Once again, I want to iterate why we started working on it and what the actual problem is that we're tackling, yeah? So I don't know if you guys face this, but on average, the stats tell us that, people can spend anywhere from 5-6+ hours just to produce a single minute of video. Right now, that is a little bit more on the professional side of things, but people are spending time just editing and producing content. Then they're spending money to sort of turn that content into something else. It could be distributing it across different channels, could be transcribing it, could be publishing it on different things, right? So all up, one, yeah, it's hard work, it's tedious work, and it costs a lot. And so to get around it, you either have to potentially hire a lot of people, you either have to spend a lot of money, or you might have to use a lot of different tools. Yeah, especially when it comes to video. And the second problem, which is a little bit more, as Udit sort of touched on before, is to give you some perspective, right? We as content creators, and you creating content and putting it out there, you're literally competing with millions and millions of other creators. Yeah. So to give you some numbers, like there are over 110 million, I think it's 114 million YouTube channels at the moment. There are 200 million plus business accounts on Instagram, and there are 5 million active podcasts. So when you sort of pull all of this together and you just imagine the sheer number of content creators out there creating and distributing content, it's a lot of content, right? A lot of content. And so, the question is, well, then how do you sort of start standing out? How do you stand out against all that noise? Because you're sort of competing. You're competing for consumer and your audience's attention, right? I want to share with you some fundamentals that we believe in at Imvidu. And so the big solution to standing out and creating good, engaging content and to capture an audience is two parts, right? And the 30,000, so that really high level view of what that is, it's number one, it's quantity, right? And number two, it's quality. And both of these are like really important. I can't stress how important they are. And when it comes to quality though, I just want to explain what quality isn't, especially in today's like social media, YouTube sort of world, yeah? So quality isn't about creating these high-end, super professional videos where you spend like hours and hours and hours editing, polishing, grading. Content marketing isn't necessarily that. There's definitely room for that, if for specific campaigns, specific use cases. But in general, that's not what content marketing is all about, right? You don't need to turn every single video that you produce into a professional masterpiece work of art, right? For Instagram or for YouTube, right? So then what is quality? If that's not quality, then what do I mean by quality? So quality content is content that engages your audience, right? And fundamentally, there's three ways you can do that, right? So you can create content that entertains, you can create content that educates, and you can create content that empowers your users, right? And now there is one more part to this, it's uniqueness, right? So if you can create any one of these, use any one of these sort of fundamental principles, and utilize that for your content, the better your content's going to be, the better your engagement's going to be. Yeah. and combine that with some sort of individuality where you are bringing your personality into it, your uniqueness into it, your sort of flair and touch into that content, you're going to do amazing, right? And I think where a lot of people sort of get stuck is just doing it, right? They'll focus on getting the equipment. They'll focus on trying to get those, the fancy cameras and all that. Like Udit said, you don't need all of that. You just need a phone, you need some sort of lighting, and that's it. Just get started, right? But fundamentally, if you can start focusing on these three factors in terms of, well, what sort of content I want to create, you're going to do amazing. You will do amazing. And in fact, once you figure this out, right, that's the first part of the challenge. The next part of the challenge is, well, how do you present that content? And how do you structure that content? And how do you create it in a way where you hook your audience in, right? But, you know, that's going to be probably a separate discussion, which probably needs a whole webinar. So maybe we can do another one where we sort of deep dive into that a little bit more. But there is a framework that we've sort of developed based on our experience. And I'm about to put my mouth where my word is. We're actually going to be using that exact framework to grow our own social media, right? Now, being a startup, we don't have much of a following, yeah? We've got a couple of hundred people on different channels, but that's about it. So we're literally going to be using what we're saying here to grow our channels from nothing, almost nothing, to at least 20,000. That's our target for this year, yeah? So as a side note, you know, I would love to discuss that. I would love to share that journey with you guys as well as part of Imvidu and as part of our startup. And maybe even have you guys join us, right? I think that would be amazing. So we do have a community that we've set up on Facebook where our users and our customers do hang out. And, you know, I think it would be great if you guys join that. So I don't know, Udit, if I will be sharing our journey on how we are ramping up our social media and how we are ramping up our marketing and, you know, getting that following happening on social media. I'll be sharing that in the community. So I don't know if, would this be a good time to maybe share the link to the community with the audience as well, would it?
No, let's just continue right now and finish the presentation.
Yeah, sure. All right, so the next part, so I mentioned quality, and the next part is quantity, yeah? Now, why is quantity important? Like we said, the first reason is pretty much that. You're competing with millions of others, right? Secondly, now we're competing with AI, right? So a lot of creators are going to be using AI to boost their content, right? Whole different story and whole different sort of, you know, topic that we can talk about. So we won't deep dive into that. But the third important reason is algorithms. And you mentioned this, right? YouTube, Instagram, their bread and butter is content, right? That's how they are making a living, right? They want you to produce more content. So if you're not creating that content and putting it out there, you don't have a chance, right, of standing out. So you have to keep up with that quantity of content as well. Yeah. So, all right. So now it's hard, it's tedious, like we said, right? So then how do you keep up? And as content creators, marketers, agencies, you know, how do you sort of keep up, and how do you consistently, continuously and, you know, quickly churn out content, right? And keep up with all of the other creators. So I want to share with you some tips, but the primary one that I want to talk about, because there's so many parts to this, right? And we don't have time to cover all of them. The primary one that I want to talk about is repurposing, right? And so repurposing is, well, what does that mean, right? It's you're reformatting or you are reusing existing content by either changing it up a little bit. Maybe you're extracting content out of whatever that you have already, or you're spinning it into something else. Yeah. So, for example, so these are just very high level examples of what repurposing content means, right? So number one, you can repost long form content, right? This webinar is a really good example. You know, you make it short, compact, summarize it, edit it, you know, for a little bit more engagement on the channel that you're posting it to. So for example, on YouTube, you could post it onto your Facebook page as it is, yeah? You can turn that into short form content. So split it up, clip it up, you know, turn it into 2-3 minute video clips. Once again, put on your Facebook, put on your LinkedIn, right? You can grab 30-second clips and then turn that into reels. You can put that into TikToks. You can spin it, right, for different platforms as well. Now, the difference between what I said before and what spinning is, essentially you're using the same content, but tweaking it for different messaging or different audiences. So for example, using the same clip, maybe changing the headline across the video so you can actually get the attention of the right audience on the right platform, because whoever's hanging on Facebook may not resonate with the message or the video that you have on LinkedIn. So it's important to sort of tweak and change your content and not just sort of copy paste everywhere at the same time. Yeah. And then you can also even turn your longer form videos into, for example, carousel posts. They work really well. So I don't know if you guys know, so Instagram has different ways, different methods of creating content. Yeah. And one of those is carousels. And a really good way to create engagement is, instead of using images for your carousels, use videos. You know, turn that one longer video, which might even be a 2 or 3 minute video, just turn that into 1 minute video clips and use that as carousels. So if you can create that hook using that content, Instagram's going to love it, because they're seeing that user engaging with your videos across that carousel, right? The next one is extracting content. And I think this one is probably a really key one. Examples of extracting content are just really trying to grab powerful or key moments in whatever presentation, webinar, podcast that you might already have, right? And turning that into its own piece of content. A really good example, and I'll show you this in a minute. Actually, I will show you that in a minute. But before, the last point that I want to say is reformatting it. Something really simple, yeah? And we sort of overlook that. So for example, once again, this webinar, turn it into a podcast, make it audio only, put it onto Spotify, right? If you've got an audio podcast, turn it into a video, put it into YouTube, right? It's simple. You can transcribe your audios, you can transcribe your videos. So you've got all of this content. And if you are already creating that long form content, you're literally sitting on a gold mine, right? It's a gold mine of content that you can sort of reuse, repurpose, recreate. And you almost have an everlasting sort of evergreen schedule of content to post. So Udit, I want to share you with some case studies what people actually do, like practical things that people are actually doing in terms of, you know, repurposing content. I think that might give the audience a little bit more of a, I guess, a practical view of things.
Sure, definitely.
All right, so this is Lahina. She's one of our customers, users. She's been with us for a while, but you know, I love this example, right? Because she does something really good. So just to give some context, so she is a business coach. She coaches her clients on business, lifestyle, that sort of thing, right? But one thing that she does is she does regular seminars, she does regular sort of client sessions. And she's able to, as soon as someone says something really positive about her webinar, right, she can actually extract that out, right? Turn that into a client testimonial. Now, I don't know if you've done this, but trying to get clients to go, hey, give us a review, give us a video review, that's hard. Like clients, people don't do that, right? It takes effort to do that. But once you're already on a call with them, you know, like this webinar, right? You might say something really positive about us. That's a testimonial, right? Take that out, turn it into a clip, put it into social media, right? There's content. What else she's doing though is she's turning that long form, those sessions, into their own little videos as well, 2 or 3 minute videos, putting them onto Facebook, right? Really good example. And one other thing she does is she does little quotes for Instagram. A lot of people do this, right? What I don't like is a lot of people just share other people's quotes. Here is a really good example of her saying stuff, right? This is her thought leadership, represents her authority in her domain, her expertise, right? And you can get that from your existing content. You don't need to be sitting there coming up with all of these quotes, right? Because I'm pretty sure if I was to go through this video, I'm pretty sure I would have said something pretty amazing, right? I would have said a few things that were pretty amazing. I think even you said a few sentences there that were like, oh yeah, that's really cool, yeah. But you don't pick that up naturally. You tend to just skip over that. But yeah, so those are really good examples of what repurposing is. I'll give you another example. This is Julio's. I saw this on Julio's Instagram page. He literally took one webinar, one single webinar, and he turned it into a month's worth of clips for his Instagram. Now, ideally, not the way I would have done it personally, like because he sort of posted all of them in one go. I would have split them up across, drip feed them across different weeks, even different months, different times of the year. I would definitely have done that. But a really good example of how easy it is to fill up your Instagram feed with content, right? One single webinar, that's all it took. And these guys are a small team, right? What they tend to do is they have podcasts, regular podcasts with their partners or their clients. And the first thing they do is, push it to YouTube, right? With minor tweaks, minor edits. They turn that into an audio podcast, put it into Spotify. Then they, turn them into little audiogram clips, right? So a bit of visual impact, put onto Facebook, primarily LinkedIn. These guys love LinkedIn. So they're putting it onto LinkedIn. And then even create 2 or 3 minute videos as their own posts in the feed as well, right? So that's, once again, literally one podcast, and you're literally turning that into months worth of content, right? Now, there are ways to make sure that you're doing it in a very tactful way. You don't want to be putting boring content out there. So, that's something to keep in mind. And, I'd love to share how we do that across, in our community and all that later on as well. So, yeah, so these are really good examples of what repurposing looks like, actual practical examples of what people are doing. And even this webinar, right? I keep on referencing this webinar. This is, like, to me, this is a really good example, right? So literally, if I get access to this, I'm pretty sure I will. Yeah. So I'll just download the recording. I will edit it. I will repost it to our community, right? Because not everyone from our community is going to be on this webinar. Not everyone in our community is going to be hanging on the Pitch Ground YouTube channel. So I'll just record. I'll get the recording. I'll edit it, put it onto our community, right? I'll grab key highlight moments, like I've been saying. I'll schedule them in on our Facebook page and our Facebook community. Most likely, I'll be able to grab a few highlights, turn them into audiograms for Instagram Reels. And then once again, those powerful statements, I keep on coming. I love those, right? Little statements, little things that you sort of end up saying. I can quickly grab those and just repost them. Maybe even just tweet them. Like, we don't use Twitter much, so I probably won't tweet them myself. But you guys probably do use Twitter a lot. So, and once again, that carousel post, I think that's a really nice sort of hack that you can do right now. Videos as carousel posts, they would work wonders. Like, really amazing stuff. So yeah, so I mean, that's that's the main point that I want to make. So as a closing thought on that, you do need to create a content strategy. It's not just about, just publishing whatever. Although you can, that if quantity means publishing whatever, then, it's better than nothing, right? So instead of sitting there analyzing and, trying to come up with this amazing strategy, just do it. Like, just start publishing content. And once you get into the flow of things, there's a term that I call branching content, right? And so branching is really where you start with something, an initial idea or concept. Once you actually put it out there and you start working on it, you will naturally get more ideas flowing out of it, right? And that will then start to give you a backlog of ideas and content that you can continuously create. Just start jotting it down, and then eventually, you'll have a whole sort of calendar full of content. You probably won't be coming up with ideas. You'll never be coming up with ideas. It'll be, how do you sort of get it all done? And yeah, so hopefully that adds value to the audience with it. Now I can jump into a demo of Imvidu as well at some stage, but I'll let you sort of drive that first, and then yeah, we can take it from there.
Sure, definitely. Once you dive into the product demo, after that we'll dive into some crazy stuff that we do. So yeah, we'll be sharing some great insights with everyone.
Okay. Were there any questions or anything like that in the meanwhile, or should I just jump into this?
After the product demo.
All right. All right. So you can see the studio. Give me a thumbs up. Yep.
Yep.
All right. So guys, this is the Imvidu studio. I'm in there already. I've got my video in there. And the first thing that you would see is I've got my transcript there. Yeah. And that really forms the sort of the core part of how Imvidu works. So just to give you some context, there's two things that we do, right? One, we help you edit your video using text. And then that opens up the possibilities to repurpose your content in a much more faster and smoother way, right? We get rid of that tediousness. And so I'll give you a few examples of what repurposing and editing and all that can be done in Imvidu, yeah? So the first thing I want to talk about though is a transcript, yeah? So I've got the transcript. You can do whatever you want with it. You can download it, copy it. In fact, you can even just copy out little, paste little sentences into the clipboard, you know, put them into Canva, put them into LinkedIn, put them into Twitter, yeah? Whatever you want to do with it. Download the transcript. You can download the subtitles as well. So obviously the subtitles get automatically generated, super powerful stuff for creating engaging videos. You can download this as well. So if you are using other video editing tools, we actually fit into the workflow. So I've actually used more professional video editing tools as well. I love using them. And our tool fits in really nicely if you want to save time and you still want to work with other tools that are a little bit more professional. So subtitles is a good example of that, yeah? So I don't know if like someone might say they use DaVinci Resolve, for example. I've used that much more complex platform, but it doesn't do automatic subtitles, right? And so I used to do that in our platform, dump them into DaVinci Resolve. We've even got users putting these transcripts into ChatGPT nowadays, right? And seeing what they can come out of it. So content ideas, right? Even more content ideas. Accuracy is really good. But if you do want to fix mistakes, we've made it really easy. Hopefully we've made it really easy. You simply toggle that on and you can edit or fix mistakes. I can't see any mistakes, but whatever, yeah? So I can actually easily just type. So it's not like any other sort of subtitle tools that you might have seen before where it's like fields that you go through and all that. And I'll show you something really cool that, well, I think it's cool. I hopefully think you think it's cool. But notice my subtitles, yeah? I can actually just change the length of the subtitles any way that I want, right? And the reason we did this is because we know that you're creating content for YouTube. We know that you're creating content for Reels. And this just makes it really easy to, you know, line up the subtitles within whatever format that you have. So for example, I'll move this out of the way. Yeah, so creating a story video on Instagram, right? That's how easy it is, right? That's how easy it is, but I'll show you another way that we do it using templates. And then for the subtitles example that I wanted to say, we've built presets as well. So, you know, we'll let you add fancy subtitles really quickly. And one thing that we are working on right now is making these even better. Like we're going to be just, I think, Richard can chime in. Hopefully over the next 2 weeks, we'll have a really good idea of what this is going to look like, because it's got to be really powerful stuff. And I just want to say, like, if people aren't adding subtitles to their videos, there's a lot of videos on social media, right, where there's subtitles. There's 2 reasons for that. Oh, well, 3 reasons for that. One is accessibility, right? Naturally, you know, people they might have hearing issues or whatnot, right? Secondly, it's creating engaging videos. You can literally just use subtitles to create engagement on your videos, like make a little bit of an impact. Yeah, so now the editing using text, right? A lot of people aren't familiar with that. I want to show you how that works really quickly. So for example, how do I edit my video using text? I select a range of words. Sorry, I'm still in edit mode. I'll select a range of words. If I trim that, I've trimmed my video, right? I'm not just trimming words in the transcript. I've actually trimmed the video. These dots are silences. I can just delete those out, right? We've even automated. You can actually delete all your silences in one click as well, right? Now, if I select a range of words and I want to add an overlay, for example, image, elements, I'll just use text as an example, right? I add that text into, I'll make this video a little bit bigger so everyone can see it. Yep, so I can add that text to my video. like in a couple of clicks, right? I don't need to. So with typical video editing tools, with it, you're scrubbing your video back and forth a lot of the times, trying to find that exact spot. But when you have the words there as a reference, it just makes it so much easier, right? Just it reduces that tediousness quite a bit. So the trimming part's quite powerful. If one thing that it's personally done to me, like what I used to do before, I used to record and I used to spend hours and hours just doing retakes because I kept on making mistakes, fumbling, thinking about stuff like what to say. Now I just record in one take with the fumbles, with the mistakes. And I don't know if you guys can see this on the screen, but I've got that, right? I've repeated stuff here. And it's so easy for me to just trim stuff out that were mistakes, or even just use different variations of what I've said. It makes it a lot more easier, yeah? So that's the power of using text to edit your videos. You can also remove filler words as well. So if you, like me, I tend to say ums quite a bit. You can get rid of those as well, especially for social media, right? You don't want too many ums and ahs and all that. You don't want too many silences. Choppy videos work really well. So don't be scared of creating choppy videos nowadays. Like, they work really well. Actually, a funny story on that point as well. I think you asked me to do a welcome video for the Pitch Ground Facebook community. I did that. And I don't know, like you wouldn't know this, but I actually repurposed that video from an older video that I had. It had different messaging in it. It had a different call to action on it. It had a different introduction on it. I had the words there. It was so easy for me to just delete out the parts that weren't relevant to Pitch Ground and to this welcome intro. Just reposted it, right? It was.
Then I have a question for you over here. Do you think you can add, you can possibly add ChatGPT-4 integration and maybe a teleprompter as well, where we can quickly create a script? Because the problem is that, sorry about that. So the problem with directly using ChatGPT is that it's not really trained to write for short videos or scripts in general, right? You have to write a lot of prompts to basically tell ChatGPT in general if you use the plus surface directly. So have you thought about like just creating that particular section where I will just simply write a topic and it will ask me whether I want to create, let's say, a script for YouTube or I want to create a script for a reel, and boom, the script is ready. Now I also have a teleprompter where possibly, like, if you guys launch a mobile app in the future, I can just switch on my phone, use that as a teleprompter as well. And if there is like a long form video as well, it will just chop it up automatically, because then the scripts will be designed accordingly, where it can also chop it off based on those reels. So this is something that does not exist anywhere. And I think so many creators right now are craving for this just one specific feature of a script that is designed in a way that can be used for multiple videos for repurposing. Or else generally what happens is that if you're trying to repurpose any specific piece of content, you will see that the video will probably like cut off, or it is very hard to get that exact timing, or the video would be too small, too big. So do you plan to add something like this down the road in the future in the roadmap?
Yeah, 100%. We're actually going to do much more than that as well. So the idea behind our platform isn't to edit your content, just create video. It's to actually help create content faster, yeah, and so more content for different channels faster. That's our sort of differentiator that we're trying to go for, because that's the problem that we faced, and that sort of goes to the point that I mentioned before, that pre-production, production, and post-production. We want to be able to tackle all of those little challenges. And what you're sort of describing is that pre-production, sort of edging on the production phase of things. Yeah, perfect example. We'll have a lot of that ChatGPT type of stuff as well. And Richard's been sort of working in the background doing a lot of research. Because one of the problems with ChatGPT and just using ChatGPT, as you've sort of described, yeah, it's not relevant. It's not made for this at the moment. And one of our users, I was having a chat with him. He said his inputs into ChatGPT are more than the outputs that he's getting from ChatGPT. So he's actually spending a lot of time writing inputs and all that for the prompts, coming up with the right ones, but the output still isn't there because it's not built for this sort of stuff yet, right? But yeah, so hopefully over the next months and even quarters, you'll see a lot of that stuff happening with us. The highlights, I'll tell you how highlights work at the moment, because you said that. Let me just undelete this. So creating highlights, we've got a highlight and a create snippet feature, yeah? So for example, I can simply select whatever part that I want to keep for my video. I can highlight it. I can select different parts of the video and highlight it, yeah? Now all I do is, if I press this create snippet button, it's actually going to turn all these little highlights into its own little snippet, yeah? Now I can even create multiple highlights from the same video. So you can actually do variations of the same video. So to your point, right? This is sort of making it easier to repurpose. From this little video, you could potentially even make like 2 or 3 versions out of it, like 2 or 3 different videos, right? Just using different combinations of highlights. So, once again, I select my highlights. A little tip, there might be some people that already use Imvidu here, and it's a little bit hard to tell. We've got little durations here. So you can actually highlight and make sure that your duration is within the real time frames. So if you're trying to create 30-second clips or 1-minute clips, then this will let you know, yeah? And even your selections, it actually lets you know what range you're selecting. So you know exactly, because one of the problems you have on Reels and TikToks and all that is it's hard to find that sort of that perfect length where you can start and finish within that 30 seconds or, whatever time frame that you're trying to squeeze your video in. Yeah, so this is how our highlights sort of work. So if you have a longer video, so this is a pretty short video anyway, this is only 2-minute video, right? There's only so many snippets you can create out of it. But if you had a longer one, you can literally, grab, so a 30-minute video, divide that by 30 seconds, reels, that tells you how many pieces of content that you can create. One other thing that I do, not just as part of this, but if you are trying to create variations of the same content, we do let you duplicate projects as well. So just duplicate a project, create different versions of it, especially for this sort of use case. Yeah. So if I'll touch on templates, I'm dying to touch on templates, but if you are resizing your videos for social media, right, you might want to create a different project. You might want to create it as a different snippet. And before I finish up, I'll talk about templates, because templates is our way to help you start creating more videos faster without having to sit there and style every single thing every single time. A lot of folks want to, brand their videos. Templates let you do that. So, for example, in a couple of clicks, I can start creating Facebook videos because typically they're square. It'll style it all for you. It'll add little animation progress bars that we have. You can do widescreen. You can do story mode, right? All in a couple of clicks. So you don't need to be dragging stuff, all the elements. You don't need to be changing stuff around. It's like any other template, right? Even in Microsoft, PowerPoint works pretty much like that. You can even save your own templates. And this is the big one. So especially if you are marketing and if you're doing work for others, or even just for your own branding, yeah? So I can actually I can tweak this layout, and I can change the colors. I can do whatever I want. I can change the subtitles. I can add a headline, and then I can save that template for the future. So every new video that I'm editing, I can simply just select that template and it's ready to sort of output and download. Yeah, so like you touched on as well, like, we are working on some amazing stuff that's going to help you, get more content much more faster, multiple platforms. We are looking at how we can start integrating ChatGPT like stuff as well into the platform, just doing research on that. One of the biggest ones that we are looking forward towards is subtitles, right? Hopefully we can make that, our users have been asking for it. And, we should be able to do something with that as well in the next few weeks.
Awesome. And which all languages does it support right now?
Right now it's English. Now we can do other languages, but we've decided to hold off because languages may not be compatible with some of the other features that we do want to roll out in the future. So we're sort of weighing that up. Like, do we still do languages, let people use at least the subtitle and transcript option versus no, let's not do languages because other features with languages may not be usable. So we'll ask our users that question, yeah, and once we get that input, we can easily do Spanish, Portuguese, Hindi, multiple languages.
Awesome. All right. So I'm going to take up some questions before we dive into some more stuff and start sharing some more details, ideas, and strategy with you guys. So let's dive into the very first question. So there's a question coming in that is it possible to post contents on TikTok or any of the other platform directly through the platform right now? Or do you guys have plans for something like this in the future?
We have plans for the distribution side of things 100%. Now, initially we wanted to build our own thing where you go, like a scheduling type of thing. I think we've sort of realizing that we don't need to build a scheduling thing for us. We just need to make it ready to post. So one thing that we are working on is how do you get that video? Because video is not just video, yeah? You're not just posting a video on TikTok or Instagram or Facebook. That
Maybe
video
just
needs
possibly integrate with New Link, maybe. I think that would be a very good idea.
Yeah, I'm speaking with the founder right now, actually.
Because New Link is doing an extremely amazing job right now.
Yeah.
Another product on PitchGround at the moment. I think they're doing a phenomenal job, and I think if you guys can just use the API and integrate that, because their entire focus is on cross posting and distribution. So
yeah,
it makes no sense to kind of build something like that doesn't really align. Versus if you guys
100%.
focus on improving on the tech side, build mobile apps, and all of those things, the resources are well spent over there, focusing on
100%.
solving that one specific issue. So I think like a direct integration, a native integration, where you guys like just push a button and boom, the videos are already scheduled using New Link. I think that will be absolute amazing. Apart from that, possibly like do a Zapier integration as well. That should possibly help.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a lot of integrations in the future. YouTube is one integration that everyone's asking for. On the reverse side of things, the upload part of it, YouTube, getting video straight from YouTube, that's something that's on our short-term roadmap as well. And then, on the output side of it, once again, it'll be quite, because one feedback that we had from users, and we're quite active with our users as well. I just wanted to say that, like, I know a lot of users and customers, especially lifetime deal customers, they might be wary of founders not speaking to their users. We, in the last 2 weeks, we've actually had face-to-face interviews with some of our users, right? And one of them, and this is where it came out of, is so they're working with different clients, as a marketing consultant. Each client has their own scheduling tool that they prefer to use. So it doesn't make sense for us to build a scheduling tool, right? It's better for us to build an integration into multiple tools, and Zapier would naturally fit into the picture as well.
Sure. So guys, before we dive in further and start sharing more stuff, the deal of Imvidu for 1+1 is now live. Take advantage of the deal. What is 1+1? You grab any of the deals over here, which is plan A, plan B, plan C, whatever deal you want, and you'll be getting the exact same +1 code available. An email has been sent out to all of you guys at the same time. Please just check your email if you want. After you have done that, just head to imvidu.paperform.co and just fill in the form. That's it. Like once you have made your purchase, just give us your purchase details. That's all that's required. And if you have done that, you will automatically be getting the +1 code. Again, take advantage of this. I'm going to be posting up the links inside the chat as well. Grab the deal. This 1+1 deal is only available till the time this webinar goes off. So you have time, you've seen your product, they're moving forward very, very rapidly. They're building up great new feature. And if you cannot afford Descript at any point of stage, then this is a fantastic alternative right now to Descript, helping you save like huge amount of money. If you go ahead and just look at the pricing for Descript, I'm just going to quickly show you guys. It's actually pretty ridiculous, right? So Descript is literally going to cost you, the top plan is going to cost you anywhere from like $24 per month if you pay annually and build annually. So take advantage of this. And again, this is just for one user, guys. So take advantage of this deal right now. And if it's per month, then it's $30 per month. So just take advantage of this amazing, incredible deal right now that's available, because it will not be available after the webinar is over. Now, coming down to our processes once again, let me just quickly post the link. So here is the form link that you guys need to send, and there you go. So I've shared the link for the deal and I've shared the link for the form as well, guys. Take advantage of this 1+1 offer. Now, many of you would ask, what can you do with +1? Give it to your team members, let your team member work on it. Or at the same time, you guys can also sort of give it to your family, friends, colleagues. It's an amazing way to kind of like just make them happy, or your customers, right? Give them their own account. It will just make them very happy. Another question that's coming in, Jack, for you is, do you happen to have sub accounts, or do you plan to add sub accounts, especially for agencies in the future?
Yeah, we do. Yeah. We'll probably have users on every plan, so multiple users, so number of users or number of team members on as you get bigger plans, obviously that number increases, but ideally in our case we want to have multiple seats for even the entry level plans as well, but it might be limited. So for example, the first one may only have like 2 seats per plan, and the higher ones would obviously have whatever number that we can sort of manage.
Awesome. Just a moment. I think some of the people are getting. Okay, so I've fixed the form. Anyone who was getting error with the form and was not able to submit the form, I've fixed it now, so you should be able to submit the form right away. So now let's dive into some of the strategies and statistics and some of the things that we have been doing on our end, right? In terms of how we are really producing the contents at PitchGround, how we are able to produce contents on a very, very consistent basis, and how we are able to achieve everything that we are doing right now at this point of stage, right? So to begin with, like I said, all you need is a good camera. So if you have an iPhone, you do not need any other camera, especially if you have an iPhone 14 Pro. I think you already have a very, very, very good camera with yourself. But if you don't, then I would recommend investing in a good camera that is 4K supported. Then get a ring light. As you can see over here, this ring light will literally cost you like $50 to like $60. This is a one-time investment that will pretty much last for the next 3 to 5 years. You'll probably need a tripod stand, which is again going to cost you like $20, not more than that. Some of you DM'd me asking me which is the teleprompter that I'm using. So it's a company known as Desview. Again, I'm no way affiliated with them. I'm using their product. It's, I think, about like $150 or something. Been using it since the last 3 or 4 months now, and my life couldn't have gotten better, right? So all I do is just use any kind of like teleprompter app right now, and just put up my phone on that teleprompter, and that's it. I just start recording. So I write my own scripts, and then it just helps me. So it's spelled as Desview, Desview. So if you just Google, you'll get it right away after that. So again, it's an incredible teleprompter. Just use that initially. And once you have done your content, get that content inside Imvidu. And that's where you do a quick editing and you start like churning out more and more videos very, very quickly. So this is what I would typically recommend. If you guys are not good with scripts as well, use ChatGPT for now, right? So I'm also going to show you some of the things over there at the same time, so that we make this session amazingly, like very, very amazingly well for you. So just give me 1 second and I'll share some of my processes with you guys. Awesome. So let's create some script right now. Guys, let me know in the comments and tell me which script do you want me to work on? Because again, I'll be working live for you guys over here. I'll be showing you some of the processes, right? So that you guys can literally clone and copy this whole playbook. We don't even need to worry about anything. So just let me know in the comment which kind of script do you want me to work on, so that I can show you guys live how some of the scripts I create and then I edit it based on my knowledge. Again, guys, use the comment section and let me know so that I can show you guys live. And as I'm still waiting in the comments, guys, please let me know which script do you want me to focus on, or else I'll just work on one of the random topics. Or maybe, Jack, if you can suggest me one topic, I'll go ahead.
Let's do what we're talking about today. How do you create content faster?
All right. So I'll start with this. contents faster. Please make sure to include. If any of you think the zoom is zoom in, just zoom in a bit and you guys will be able to see. Include Imvidu as one of the product recommendation in the video. Make sure that the word count is not over 120 words per minute. Use the following format: hook, content, CTA, and let's see what we get. This is how you kind of like write the first script. And then as you can see, and make sure please use ChatGPT-4 specifically for this. Do not use any other software. Do not use GPT 3.5 for this, because you will not see your contents being broken down like this. And that's where you will not see the highest quality of content. And also, please, you can just use the prompt that I have used live in this particular webinar. Use this prompt, use in this way. Don't just write, please write a 60-second script and reel for me. Don't write that way. It will not generate a good content. Remember that AI is like an assistant, so you have to use it specifically, and you have to really tell them your speed as well. So if you don't know what is your word count per minute, just go ahead and use any teleprompter as well, and you'll be able to like easily figure out your word count per minute as well. This is again very critical, because generally otherwise what happens is that people are trying to speak too fast, and because of that no one is able to hear and understand what this. If you really slow down and explain every word, you will have a much better control, and you will be able to focus on your audience better. So in order to make sure that you're not speaking too fast or you're not speaking too slow, you need to understand and realize how many words are you speaking per minute. So generally for me, 120 words per minute works out to be the best, because I'm not too fast, I'm not too slow. And this is the essence of me being able to keep the hook up. And that's why I use 120 words per minute. But again, it's completely up to you. You can customize this script. So now that you have the script, let's check it out, right? As you can see, the first part, it has written the hook for me, which is want to create amazing content fast. Let's unlock the secret. Now, this is how you take this entire content, put it up inside, make a reel out of it very, very quickly. And then you put it up inside Imvidu for further edit. So from brainstorming to actually creating and getting the production live, it's not going to take you more than 10 minutes. And if you do a longer video, now we'll also be doing a longer form of video of this, by the way, and then how we'll churn it out, I'll showcase that as well. So as you can see over here, brainstorm in batches, set a timer for 15 minutes and jot down as many content ideas as you can. Now, this is how specific, it's very new. It's great idea and strategy. Outline, right? It sounds very natural as well. Save time by creating outlines for your content. Make it easier to fill in the blanks later. Repurpose your best stuff. Take your top performing content, transform it into another format like blog post, a podcast, or even YouTube Shorts. Fourth, use Imvidu. As you can see over here, this is what the right prompts is what makes your content unique. You need to have the ability to understand how to ask the right question and make it as detailed as possible. Remember, AI can only give you answers. It cannot give you questions. So you need to ask the right questions, right? Just like how you will create a strategy and give it to your team to execute it. AI is the executional part. AI is not the brainstorming part. So this is where you have to do your own brain magic and make sure you're asking the right stuff. Now, right away after that, you can see over here, it has written use Imvidu. The amazing tool helps you to optimize content, saves time on editing and blah, blah. I just gave the word Imvidu, that's it. So the platform is smart enough to figure out the rest of the things, as long as you are focusing on the right strategies. And right away, don't miss out on this content creation strategy. Smash that like button, subscribe, hit the bell icon for amazing tips. And don't forget to try Imvidu today. So again, it has understood my CTA very, very well, that I'm trying to promote a specific product, and it has really captured that essence. this is the most important part. And this is how you sort of like create a content, put it up on a teleprompter, just quickly record the video, and then take it to Imvidu for a quick basic editing. And once you're done with those editing, voila, you have your video ready in about 10 minutes. This is how you create content fast, swift, and amazingly easy. Now, once you get a hang of this flow, it will not take you longer than 5 to 6 minutes to create a video. What I would propose and suggest is create these contents in batches, right? So let's say if you start writing down at least 10 scripts. So you're done with the script, then sit down for an hour, record all the video in an hour, and then just spend about another 1 hour on Imvidu. So now, if you are posting one content a day from Monday to Friday, you have 2 weeks of content covered in a matter of just 2.5 hours. That's it. 2.5 hours for 2 weeks of content. That's bloody insanely amazing. Again, guys, work on the new processes, flows, because if you focus on these processes, use right tools and software, you can basically run the whole business with just few people in your organization. The time has gone where you need like 10, 15, 30, 40, 100 people to run an efficient small business, right? Unless and until you are getting into a large corporate area where you have raised a lot of funding, then it's a very different game. But if you're a small business, you need to leverage technology to save yourself time, money, and energy, and have the ability to produce more and more and more. And that is the most critical and essence part about how you do things in a swift and efficient way. Guys, if you're liking so far, please drop in that fire emoji. I need to see how you guys are doing. I need to see whether you guys are liking the content so far. I'm only going to be sharing more and more with you guys if you throw in that fire emoji in the comment. I need to see some fire from you guys right now before I dive into more stuff. Come on, break that comment right now, guys. Come on, make it happen. Come on, guys. I need to see some fire emojis. I need to see some comments. I need to see some great stuff. And I'll be sharing more amazing stuff with you guys. This was just the tip of the iceberg, what I've shown to you guys so far. Again, I'm trying to break down, make it so easy for you guys. Like I said, 2.5 hours, and you don't need any magic tool and magic button, right? It's just so freaking easy. Some of you have asked for the prompt. Let me just post the prompt for you guys in the chat as well. There you go, guys. Copy the prompt. I've pasted it for you guys in the chat. Just copy it down. It's, again, very easy. Again, use tools the right way. Now, let's try to understand how we're going to make a large form content. Again, guys, I'll be copying and pasting the prompt for you guys. So let's do this. I'm going to be copying this prompt because I'm going to be using some of the stuff. And the first thing that I'm going to write is ignore everything that I have written above, right? Now, when I do this, what's going to happen is that I don't need to create a new chat. Because when I create a new chat, I have to again retrain my model. Now, the beauty about GPT-4 is that it can understand everything that's being mentioned above. So you need to make sure that you do that. So now that this is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this, and I'm going to say that write me a script for YouTube video worth, let's say, 600 minutes, right? So 600 minutes, oh, sorry, it's 600. It will be, wait, just a second, 60 seconds. So that will be 600 seconds, sorry. Yeah, 600 seconds. So that way we are able to produce somewhere around like 10 minutes of video, basically, with 600 seconds on the same topic. Now, again, please include this and make sure that my word count is not over 120 minutes. Now, here is the trick. Break down the video script in chapters in multiple chapters. Okay, so now that I've written down, I'm going to get rid of all of these things, right? Because now, since this is a long script, I want to see how everything plays out, right? So everything is being written down. Let's see how it works out. Again, I have not defined the tone and everything yet, right? So we'll be diving into some of the tonings and everything as well in just a moment. And again, use a script, record the video, Again, use this teleprompter. Remember that you have the entire script right in front of you. So now what you have to do is, again, use any of the preferred teleprompter, that you have, and then just put it up in your phone. And then again, use the teleprompter, which I have just shown you a while back, this one, right? Put it right in front of your camera and sit down, put up a light and just record, just read. That's all you have to do. But make sure when you're reading, put up some emotions, right? Don't just sit in front of camera and just talk, right? It shouldn't look like you're reading. So make sure that you add in the right emotions to your words, emphasis where the words are required, speed up, slow down, use some hand gestures. So it makes it look very natural. So even if you are kind of like reading from the teleprompter, it shouldn't look like you're reading from teleprompter. And that's the trick, right? So make sure you do that. Use teleprompter as kind of like your cheat code when you're recording video. And this is how you kind of like speed up on recording videos and stay consistent on recording more and more videos. And remember that 2023 is the year for videos. If you're not going to dive into videos this year, it's going to be a tough time for you guys to really grow, because people, if they don't see your face, if they don't see you live, if they don't see you in video, they're probably not going to be interested in working with you, or they're not going to be interested in talking with you. Again, forget about the metrics, likes, subscribers, all of those things. When you're just starting out, focus on just creating content. That's all you have to do. Again, now let's come back over here. And while I was doing all the talking, ChatGPT was doing all the work. And this is how you multi-purpose as well, by the way. So now let's break it down, guys. So as you can see over here, it has written down all of the chapters for me. So the first chapter is brainstorming techniques. The second chapter is this. Third chapter, fourth chapter, fifth chapter, sixth chapter, conclusion, and then CTA. So now that we have this, what I will say is, let's break it down, guys. So as you can see over here, it has written down all of the chapters for me. So the first chapter is brainstorming techniques. The second chapter is this. Third chapter, fourth chapter, fifth chapter, sixth. Sorry about that. Richard, can you please make sure that your mic is muted because it was echoing? All right.
Sorry.
So let's dive in further. Okay, so now that we have this particular scripts available at the moment, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to simply say, write and elaborate I'm going to copy this very quickly. Chapter 1 and create a YouTube script for me. Make the tone let's see, make the tone professional, but add some funny lines to keep a hold of my users, actually viewers who are watching the video. Okay, let's see how it works out. As you can see right now, it has started writing chapter 1 for me, right? See this. So now, as you can see, this is how you break down. So basically what I have done initially right now, this is how you can create a long form content and then again move it to Imvidu for doing all of the editing. And then each chapter of yours can become a small video. This is how you build a flow. This is how you use Imvidu. This is how you combine it with ChatGPT, and this is how you create magic for yourself. So basically, what I'm doing over here, if you look at it, is I'm creating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm creating 5 short videos out of one long form video. And this is how you write down all your scripts. Check this out. The script is literally right in front of me. Like, I don't know how much more easier it can get. You don't need any assistant. You don't need copywriter anymore. If you can just learn how to use the right prompts, if you can learn how to use the right strategies, if you combine them, you can run a very small team and you can produce crazy results. What I predict the future would be a 3 or 4 people or 5 people team making $5 to $6 million annually. That's the future I predict in the next 3 years from now. And ChatGPT is going to be a big part of that particular strategy of yours combine it with tools like Imvidu, and you will be on fire. So like I said, we have the outlines ready. Again, guys, I'm showing everything live. I did not prepare for anything. I asked the script, I asked the text, everything is right in front of you that I'm showing to you guys. So as you can see over here, these are our chapters. And again, at any point of time, if you want me to give that prompts as well, just let me know. I'll copy and paste the prompt for you guys. So as you can see, the first chapter is written, and let's check out, right? First up, we have the promoter technique. It's named after tomato-shaped kitchen timer because who doesn't love? Oh, there you go. Check it out, right? So remember, I asked the tone over here to be professional, but add some funny lines. Check this out. It has added some nice funny lines to it. That's the beauty if you can know it the right way. Now check this out as well, right? You will stay more efficient in making idea generation a piece of cake, or should we say tomato? Now, when you're editing it, right, add some tomato to it in your video elements. Just put it up in the editing box, and boom, you have some nice funny elements. Now, the reason why you need to do a small funny elements across your videos is because otherwise it will just look boring. Make sure that you're not just sitting in front of your camera, even if you don't use teleprompter. Just don't sit in front of camera and randomly talk. No one is interested in watching boring videos anymore. From what I've seen is that people are looking for entertainment more and more, and they're looking for ways to see how B2B companies can incorporate some of those elements of being funny. So use ChatGPT if you're not naturally funny, if you cannot create sarcasm naturally, use ChatGPT as your kind of like assistant to act as a stand-up comedian, right? And again, you can use all of those words over here. So now moving forward, let's just check out, right? So now, as you can see, it has created the actual script for you. You don't even need to like think twice, right? Just make sure that everything that is around your industry is absolutely correct. If there's anything that's wrong, make sure that you edit that, right? Because again, don't rely 100% of your data on ChatGPT yet, but you can trust about like 95% of the data. The 5% has to go through the human eye. So as soon as you are done with your entire sort of scripting, move that entire script to any of your preferred platforms like Notion, Google Docs, wherever you want. Once that the final editing is done, now all you have to do after that is just sit in front of teleprompter and your camera and just record it. That's it. Once you're done with the recording, just come back to Imvidu, upload that video on Imvidu, and do your final edits, and then just break down that video into multiple chapters. Remember, each chapter of your is going to be one video by itself. Use that to gain attention. And when you gain attention, people will naturally ask you, hey, where can I see the full video? This is where you push them to your YouTube channel and build a great subscriber base. And from there, you get them into the funnel. This is what you need to. This is how you use Imvidu. Now, again, use Imvidu because you need to do editing. And the best part about them is the text-based editing, which is something that we absolutely love. Descript is very expensive. Let's be honest, So again, take advantage of the deal, guys. And again, I'm sharing like everything right in front of you, the whole playbook, how you can really implement things. So now moving forward, you have chapter 2 already ready. You have chapter 3. Ever heard of schema method? It's not about running away with your ideas. It's about enhancing them, right? Again, a bit of fun element in the script. Remember, adding these fun elements in the script can make a whole lot of difference. Again, take advantage of this, guys. And right away after that, you have conclusion. So as you can see, the video has been broken down. And as you can see, the script has been created. Now, once this is done, you come back over here, copy this prompt, paste this prompt, and now go back up. We'll go back up to and there you go. We copy chapter number 2. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to copy chapter number 2, and I'm going to replace chapter number 1 with chapter number 2 over here, right? Now that I have this, I am again going to hit the enter and let ChatGPT do all the initial work for me, right? But again, make sure that when you're doing the edits as well, add some visual elements here and there. Just make, if you don't have the energy for that, again, just get started basically. So let's again check it out. So welcome to the ultimate outlining and planning your content. Today we're going to explore. So let's check it out. Creating content. First thing first, content calendars. Again, it sounds very natural as well. That first things first, content. This is how humans will naturally interact. And also when you're creating content, make sure that it's sort of like interacting. Don't, again, make it look like you're reading some paragraphs. Don't do that. So make sure all of your scripts are in active voice as well. That's very important. If you see these contents are in active voice. These are not in passive voice. That active voice tone is where this amazing stuff comes in. So today we'll explore the strategies that will take your content creation to the next level. And don't worry, we'll sprinkle in some humor to make sure you're not only learning but laughing too. Let's get started again. Making it more human, making it more natural. But I have to tell this to ChatGPT to make it happen, or else when you create your content and edit it and just upload it, it sounds very boring. It doesn't look very good. So make sure that you understand how to make human and how to use AI the right way for your strategy. So meanwhile, like as I'm speaking, we can already see some amazing good stuff coming in further. So chapter 4, last but not the least, the 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle. It's a content creation version of the golden ratio. Here is a deal. 80. Now, this is where when you're talking this, you can add in some nice graphics over there and things like that, making your edits more swift, easy, and amazing, incredible. So as you can see, this is ready. Now, all I have to do is just write down all the script one by one. Once I'm done with that, I'll probably open my Notion, or I will probably head to just docs.new. Again, if you guys didn't know about this strategy, just click on docs.new and it will right away open a new docs for you. This is a small growth hack, saving you a lot of time going into like your Google Drive account and all of those stuff. That's too much, right? So now you come back and just start pasting the contents over here. So I'll come back over here, and the first thing that I'll do is I will just copy the script. Again, you can use any software, it doesn't matter for this, right? Done. I'll paste this over here, and I'll just write down 01, how to create contents, right? And then here is my chapters, and I will just start writing down. Basically, I'll start posting it, and I'll do some last editing. And also another thing that you can possibly do is just before you're copying the content, you can possibly go to your Grammarly account if you're using Grammarly. Make sure that the grammar and everything is fine. 95% of the time, I don't see any grammar issues with the content that's being produced by ChatGPT. But just in case, it's always good to kind of like have a check on that. And yeah, you'll have like a grammar-free content at that point of stage. So that'll also make sure that your content quality overall is standing out pretty well. So now that we have all of these things, again, just copy down one by one, and you have your entire scripting ready, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do something a little smart. So I'm going to copy this for an example, and I'm going to come back, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste it right away over here. Check this out. This is how I'm going to paste it. So I'm just going to make it bold. I'm going to remove the time from here because that's pretty irrelevant over here for me. These were the things inside this. So I will just make it bold very, very, very quickly. So as you can see over here, I'll just remove the timing as well because it's pretty irrelevant. I don't need it at all. I'll remove it from here as well. So as you can see over here, chapter 1 is done. It's that simple. So if you sit down and create just 4 chapters, it will probably take you 15 minutes for one script for one video for YouTube. I'm talking about the long form video now. And once you have that, you're all set, right? So spend an hour, create 4 scripts, then just use teleprompter. And remember that if your video is about 10 to 15 minutes long, using a teleprompter will probably take you double the time of recording, which means that if it's a 15-minute script, it will not take you longer than 30 minutes to record the video. Again, don't worry about the hummers, blummers, whatever it is. Don't worry about any of those things because you can edit all of those things inside Imvidu. This saves you a lot of time and energy. That's what you need to do, right? You need to focus on actual productivity and not focusing on just retakes after retakes after retakes. And that's where it gets so frustrating. And trust me, most of the people don't make videos just because of that. I used to be one of that person. It was frustrating. My previous processes were just annoying as heck. And that was the reason why I did not get into too much videos. But lately I've been working, I think for the last 6 months, you might have seen a lot of my videos popping out because I really focused on building a very strong process. And once I had that process, I knew that I could sit down and work on the videos. And as a matter of fact, my accounts on Twitter has grown from close to around like 1,000 followers, 1,500 followers to about 52,000 followers. My LinkedIn has grown from almost 1,500 followers again to almost 32,000 followers. All of this happened in last 1.5 years. That's it. And now I'm focusing on Instagram. I've started focusing on YouTube. My goal for YouTube this year is about 25,000 subscribers for this year. I've been focusing on all of these things. And with all of these processes, I'm still running a business. I'm still answering to everyone's question. How is that happening? I'm not outsourcing anything, right? So even if you contact me right now during the live webinar, I'm still going to try to respond to you guys, because that's how I've multitasked, and that's how I've created all of the processes. And this is how you use those processes, right tools, right strategies, because you as an entrepreneur, you as a founder, you as an individual need to save time. This is how you save time, building the right processes and do a 3-hour, 4-hour job in just 15, 20 minutes. And that's how you can start producing more in less time. And that process is what is going to help you make more money in life. That's what some of the richest people do. They work on building amazing processes, using right softwares, using right tools, using right strategies. The moment you build all of those automations in, you will see the magic kicking in for yourself. And then once you have those videos ready, just put it up in New Link and just let it automate and let it distribute for you everywhere. That's how you do things. So someone is asking me, what app are you using integrate with ChatGPT for templates, copy and continue? We'll be talking about that in just a moment, right? But again, I hope you guys are liking what you are seeing so far. Before I dive in further, I need to see some more emojis. I need to see what's going on with you guys. And are you guys liking it so far? There you go. I think this time people were ready with their emojis. I like that. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I'm glad you guys are finding it so very helpful. I am glad you guys finding it some new processes. You're learning new stuff. And I really hope you guys start popping up more videos for yourself, for your business, because honestly, personal branding has become so critical. If you're not focusing on personal brand, it's just going to be a nightmare in the future for anyone to grow, because a lot of jobs are going to be replaced by AI applications. So it's very, very, very important that you guys start focusing on that. Again, we'll be keeping a webinar separately on personal branding very soon, and I'll share my entire journey and how we really got started with personal branding and how we did it and how I grew all my accounts. I'm going to be sharing that. We also have a webinar on 29th for all of you. If anyone wants to learn how we build blog posts using ChatGPT, again, no other tools required, then make sure that you guys join that webinar as well. I'm going to be sending out the links and everything for you guys already, or you can just go on this particular link. Just a moment. Before we dive in further, you can just check out over here. We keep on posting all the webinars over here. So make sure that you guys just subscribe and sign up over here. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, let's just take some questions right now before I share anything further on everything that's going on. So let's dive into the question. Kit is saying hello from Pune. Hey, let's move on. Henny is asking, what about sub accounts? I think it's going to be available, Henny. So it's under development right now. Moving forward to the next question, David. The form has been fixed right now, so you can grab the you can fill in the form right now. Yes, I've already updated the text field for that. All right. Okay, so Rishabh is asking, can you please show me the teleprompter? So again, Rishabh, here is the teleprompter that I'm using right now. Take this out again. I'm going to quickly share. So it's from Desk View. Again, you guys can grab it. So it's from Desk View. It's a $150 teleprompter. That's it. It's pretty cheap. It's not that expensive. And for something like this that will produce like so much crazy returns for you, it's no brainer, right? And at the same time, Imvidu on top of that on a lifetime deal where Descript is like just draining your wallet. I think that's a no-brainer deal as well. So make sure that you guys really grab it at the same time. Moving on to the next question. Rishabh, I hope I've showed the teleprompter. So there's one question. David is asking.
So that's a series of questions. We've been busy in the background answering questions as well. So, just to explain to David,
you just want to dive into a bit further and talk about it, because it seems like you guys have answered that.
Yeah, so I think, David, your original question was around export limits versus upload or transcription limits. And so because we are a repurposing platform, we want you to be able to create more videos from the initial upload. So naturally, you're going to want to be able to export more content than you've uploaded, right? So that's why the export limits are much more higher than the transcription limits themselves. And so, David, I think the second question that you had was, so then are you able to upload SRT files into Imvidu? And then you mentioned content fries as well. So I'm not sure how content fries exactly works. The UI, I couldn't get past the UI to actually edit any videos. But yeah, so I don't know if you watched the actual demo of Imvidu when I was going through it. Every word in our transcript is editable. Yep. So every word is a timestamp. And so most subtitling services aren't that. They'll have a timestamp which is a bigger range. So you'll have few words in that range, which means you can't edit every single tiny word and every single gap. Ours does that. So that's where we're a little bit hesitant to promise whether you can upload SRTs in the future. We are discussing it. It's something that would add a lot of value to users. Even for us, it would actually save us costs because we don't have to transcribe videos again and again, which means two things: we can offer more upload limits and all that sort of stuff. But I can't promise that at the moment. We need to do more research on it to see how it's going to work.
Awesome. I've also shared the script for creating long form video content for YouTube for you guys. Again, just use my playbook. It's very easy. Just copy this. Again, guys, copy the prompts and keep it in your notepad or something, because the moment we end the webinar, the prompts will actually die out. If you watch the replay, you'll probably have to just watch it and type in manually otherwise. But if not, then right now you can just copy the prompt and just like literally start using it right away. But again, here is the process. Go create the scripts. Create long form scripts, by the way. Don't create short form scripts, because you want to make sure that you're killing two birds with one stone. I don't promote killing anyone, but this is just a phrase that I had to use, sorry. But you have to make sure that you're recording long form videos specifically. Don't record and waste your time by just simply recording for short term videos. Trust me, it's an utter waste of time, because people, if they like your short video, they will naturally come in and they'll ask, where can I watch the complete video? Where can I watch more? Where can I learn more? And if you don't have more, you are losing on the retention of that particular user. And this is why it's very, very important that you create a one long form video, then chop it off and create short form videos out of it. This is how magically and beautifully you can use Imvidu to do that job for you. You don't need an editor for that. You can just use Imvidu as an editor, save all the money on the crazy editors, right? The editor anyway is getting very expensive. So what I feel.
Can I just mention on that with it? So right now, like what you see is, it's not, we're not gonna keep it static, right? There's a lot of things that we want to do, and especially being content creators, there is a lot of stuff that we want to add into the platform so we can use it. Like the biggest benefit when Ruchit and I started, we were like, we want to build a product that we're going to use, right? And this is exactly it, because and on top of what I discussed before, we're going to be using our strategy to build our social media. We're going to be using our platform to create all of that content. So you're going to see a lot of amazing stuff coming up. Can I answer another question? Haroon is asking.
Yeah, just a moment, Jack. So before we dive into that, so again, guys, we'll be working very closely with the Imvidu team to make sure that the right prompts and everything, the AI has been trained, so that again the scripts and everything is going to come out in the future. So yeah, it's going to be like pretty magical. Coming down to the next question from Arun, which plan is good for freelancer individual which is focusing on video content? Plan C or plan D, since plan D is very expensive. Harun, I would say that what do you need right now and potentially in the next 3 months? That's what I would say, because if you just use the strategies that we have shared right now, this is such a beautifully scalable strategy in general, where again, you will be spending not more than 2.5 hours to create 4 pieces of content. If you're pushing one content a week as well, that's just 2.5 hours of work for you. So now if you want to scale up on that, that's all you'll potentially require, like let's say plan D in that case. But if you're planning to stick to, let's say, just 4 videos or 5 videos a month or 6 videos a month, then plan C is sufficient for you. And if you are a freelance editor where you're editing for other people, then you will probably need to go with plan D at that stage. And again, you're getting +1 on top of that. So take it as an investment that you are actually going to save a lot more money in the future. And that's where the opportunity really kicks in, basically.
Can I mention another point on that? Right. And with it,
Yep.
So if you're a freelancer, you want to be making money off your clients. Yeah. So you got to take into some consideration. Can I share a really quick hack that we did before we had the platform? So we actually experimented as a done for you service, right? So we're actually repurposing content for clients. You can easily make a few $100, thousands of dollars, just to repurpose content for clients. So you should be thinking along those terms. How do I package up a service where I'm actually able to repurpose a client's content into a plethora of content, helping them fill up their content media calendars, social media calendars, yeah? And people are happy to pay for that, right? You just got to be a little bit creative around it.
Awesome. Perfect. So I hope that answers your question. I don't know if you have any follow-up questions, just post it over here. More than happy to sort of share. So I joined in it. Can I get the plan details? So yeah, I'm going to quickly share the plan details once again. So let me quickly share my screen. Okay, so just head to pitchground.com/product/Imvidu, or if you just go on pitchground.com, just come over here and type in Imvidu over here in the search. Come over here and purchase any plan that you want. Once you have grabbed it, to get the +1 offer, you have to make a purchase right now, because the moment this webinar ends and this form closes, the deal for +1 is officially over. Then go to imvidu.paperform.co. Again, I'm going to be posting this link for you guys in the chat once again. Just put in your details over here, your name, your purchase email, and your invoice number. That's it. That's all we require. And after the refund period is over, we will be automatically crediting this to your account, giving you an opportunity of really kind of like getting a direct 50% off, because then you can use the code to do whatever you want and grabbing that opportunity. So I hope that answers the question of the deal and the plan. Harun is asking, how do you upgrade to plan D if plan C is purchased just now? Harun, you can just refund in your PitchGround wallet and just repurchase plan D right away, so that you can get the +1 for plan D. So just refund to your PitchGround wallet and make a purchase of plan D, use your wallet credit, and then just pay the difference and you're sorted for plan D. So I hope that helps out. So let's see, there were some more questions out there. So people who are not able to copy the prompts, just join our WhatsApp group. You should be able to, I'll be posting all the details over there in our group as well. So just put in a request. I've already accepted everyone over there. So I'll be posting all the details over there further. And again, if you guys have any questions, then more than happy to help you guys out over there as well. So meanwhile, let's just take up some more questions from the chat.
Languages would start from the run plan, if anyone wants to know. The entry plans may not have languages.
Awesome. So there's one question coming in from Ridhi. Ridhinil. Ridhinil is asking, what's the one skill that can make humans stand out in today's AI world? I think one skill that will stand out is the ability to use the AI, because Elon Musk tweeted this a couple of days ago that AI will not replace humans, but people who are using AI will replace humans. If you understand the deep meaning of this, in the future, the job creation that you will see would include, do you understand and do you know how to use generative AI? That will be a specific mention. And if you do not know how to use generative AI, chances are that you will unlikely get hired, right? Or you will not be able to produce. And in fact, even the agencies who are not using generative AI, businesses that are not using generative AI right now, and when I say generative AI, I'm not just talking about scripts, right? I'm talking about audios, I'm talking about videos, I'm talking about anything that is generated by AI that falls under generative AI. So if you do not know how to use AI, that person, agency, or company will be replaced in the next 3 years. So you have a good 3-year window that I feel it can be shorter, because the world is moving at a very rapid pace. The adoption has been pretty crazy, but that's where the world is heading towards right now. This year and the next 2 years will be just about AI, nothing else. So again, this is your time and opportunity to produce more, produce amazing stuff for yourself, your clients, And remember that if you are a freelance editor and if your customers do not have time, if you use editors like Imvidu, you can actually edit the video and produce it at the same time. In like, let's say, if your client comes in and tells you that, hey, I need this video ASAP, usually the ASAP is 3 days. But if you can deliver the same video in, let's say, just 2 hours, imagine the happiness that the aha moment you will give to your client, and that aha moment will lead to more opportunities for you guys. This is how AI would be used in the future, right? So AI will not replace humans, but people using AI will replace humans. So you have to be careful. You have to upskill yourself in order to make sure that you're making more money, you're staying up to the mark, and making sure that you're delivering to your clients. And this is where software and technologies comes into picture. And that's where the entire software industry and the entire world is heading towards, which is like completely AI-driven tools and stuff. So
and the fact that you got the transcription there, if you got clients, just giving you a video, instead of having to listen to the whole video, you got the transcription there, just quickly read through it, plug it into ChatGPT as well. And you can actually give your clients more ideas in terms of, well, hey, client, you should be recording this sort of content. And there you go, more relationships with the client.
Awesome. So I hope that answers. Next question is, what do you think about content overload in the future? Like if everyone is producing content with ChatGPT, what's the differentiating factor? Great question, Rishabh. To be very honest with you, most people are yet to figure out how to use Google properly. So do you really think that people would be able to figure out how to use ChatGPT properly? Trust me, most people will go and just say, do me this or do me that, and it will produce garbage content. Even if ChatGPT 10 comes out, it will still produce garbage content, because you have to understand and you have to, first of all, realize how you need to train the AI. If you just read my prompt once again, let me just share my screen, right? I'm going to share my prompt once again, and you will realize something, what I have really written over here and why it's producing some spectacular script. So coming back over here, you will see that I'm telling the AI to imagine that you are world's best creator. I'm telling them to think like the best creator in the world and want to create a script for YouTube Shorts worth 60 seconds. Now, most people, what they would come and do is this. They'll come over here. Let's say even if you're using ChatGPT, they'll come over here and just simply write. Let me actually just copy the topic from here. I'll just show you guys the difference, right? This is what most people will do, and this is what most people are doing, and they're not able to leverage the scripts the right way. And you will see a massive difference in terms of whatever is going on, right? Now, if you just look at the overall content produced by this and the previous prompt, you will see a massive difference. Check this out, plan ahead. It's too generic. Everyone knows about these things. Now, I'll let it complete the production, and then I'll show you the basic comparison between both of them. And secondly, I don't know what is the word count over here. For many people, this is way too much. For many people, it's too less. It doesn't know the speed. It doesn't know anything. So what people will try to do is this, right? Plan ahead, just batch your tasks, leverage templates and tools. It's very basic content. It's ultra basic content. And this is what most people are doing right now. And this is why when you see that there is no customization in these scripts, that's when it's very difficult. And when you come back and just see this script as an example over here, you will see that it's written in a more humanly manner. It contains something more specific and it is in a certain format. Just see the difference in the script itself. It's perfect, short, crisp, to the point. And that's how it needs to work for short videos. Versus, this is not actually a 60 seconds. I can bet if you just put it up on a teleprompter, this will take you longer than 60 seconds to record. Just see the difference. We're using the same model. We're using ChatGPT, GPT-4 for both the models. In this case, as you can see, it's 4. This one as well, as you can see, it's 4. There's no difference, but the way you ask question, the way you put in the prompts, and the way you train the AI. Check this out. If I just put in the same thing, write me a video script, right? I will just put it up over here. Just a second. Let's just come over here and I will simply write, create a script for YouTube on the topic. This is what most people will do. They will not take the time to really sit down, understand how AI works, and train them. Remember, GPT or any AI in general is your assistant. You have to tell them what to do, what they need to do. So you need to act like a head of department or C-level executive, right? Where you're building all the plan and you're telling someone how to do it. That is exactly what you need to do. If you're not going to do that properly, you're not going to see the customization and results. And as you can see, my script was very unique. If you try the same script, you will not get the same result. And this is how AI works. You need to train them. Now, if you again see the script over here, right? The first step, it's very basic. This looks like I'm just going to read. Hey, everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today, we are going to help you create content to boost. This is very basic. Versus again, if I come back over here to this specific script, right? Let me just come back. Yeah, if I come back over here, you will see how this script has been like fully customized. It's funny. It has the right element and things like that. You can see the difference in this script and you can see the difference in this particular script. I guess since I left it, kind of like walked away. But again, you guys get the gist, right? So Rishabh, the gibberish content is going to be from people who are not producing the high quality prompts, who are not able to understand how things work. So that's where the challenges come in, basically. So some people are asking, where is the link to purchase Imvidu? So again, I'm going to post the link as well. So just head to pitchground.com/product/Imvidu. I've just shared it in the chat once again. Purchase over there. Once you have made the purchase, then head to the form as well. I'm sharing that with you guys once again. And again, guys, if you have any question about the processes or anything, please let me know. We'll be doing one more webinar where we'll be like creating the scripts from scratch, recording the video right in front of you guys, and editing as well right in front of you guys. How madness of that would be, like the whole process right in front of you. We'll be doing that next crazy webinar right in front of you. And then we'll probably show you how we break down and things like that. So it's going to be a lot more fun webinar. So if you've just enjoyed the first webinar, imagine the madness in the second one that we're going to be doing, right? So we'll try to create like 4 pieces of content in the next webinar, possibly right in front of you. So it's, again, let's do something madness, right? We don't want to keep how the typical webinar and generic webinar happens. We'll keep it very lively. We'll do practical stuff and how actually stuffs are being produced. So we're going to just dive into all of those things. So I hope all of these things are helping you guys, right? So again, grab Imvidu. This is going to help us. This is going to support our pitch ground. This is going to support Imvidu as well. And we really appreciate whoever has made a purchase so far. We really, truly appreciate. And we'll try to bring out such pieces of more content and webinar for you guys, because we want you guys to grow, because 2023 is going to be a tough year for everyone. We already know what's going on around the world. So this is where I think we all just need to start supporting with each other. We have some amazing ideas, strategies, workflows. We spend a lot of time in brainstorming new processes, and that's where we're able to produce so many stuff at such a little time. It's because of those processes, right tools and strategies. And that's what we do at these webinars. We'll share away everything with you guys. And again, if you use your own tool sets, you can still apply all the processes. So it's nothing forced. You still don't need to get the tool if you don't need to. We would recommend if you do, because that will just support us in terms of what we are doing, and will help us in terms of just keep coming back and sharing more and more with you guys. Let me just reshare the community link once again for all of you for WhatsApp. I'm going to be sharing all the prompts over there with you guys. I'm going to be creating like a Notion link, and I'm going to be sharing all the prompts. So don't worry if you have missed out on the prompt. You don't need to go ahead, copy things, write it down quickly. Don't worry about any of those things. As soon as the webinar ends, in 5 minutes, I'm going to be creating a Notion link. I'm going to paste all of the prompts that I've shown with you guys over here, and you guys will have the prompts for yourself. Just literally use a prompt, right? And start using it. And again, I'll keep sharing more stuff with you guys as well in terms of the processes, videos, and more craziness. Again, guys, if you have any questions, please drop them in the QA We're going to be taking all the questions before we end this madness and end the deal for OnePlus as well. And if you guys have got the deal already, just let us know in the comments, show some support, let us know who have got the deal so far, and we'll be trying to help you out further if required. Awesome. Congratulations, David. You've got the deal. Awesome. Awesome stuff, man. So I've shared the link already. Sanjay is saying he got the deal as well. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sanjay, for supporting us. Really, really appreciate you supporting us. Mike has got it. Awesome, Mike. You've got Plan CC. That's awesome. Which is Plan CC? I need that plan as well. CC. I need the Plan CC as well. Awesome, awesome.
It's one for one. So you got 1 for 1, right?
Awesome, awesome. Perfect. All right. Let's see if there are more questions. Boom. Mike is C+C. That's awesome. Awesome. Let's move forward and let's see if there are any more questions. So I hope, Rishabh, that answers your question. So Rishabh is saying if prompt is only a differentiating factor, then what if copied prompt since? So again, Rishabh, it's not just about the prompt, right? If you see that I have added my own elements, and remember, once you get the script, you don't need to just blindly copy the script and paste it. Read it. The 5% of the element is you. So it's again, ChatGPT is like a team member. If I'm going to tell my team to do some task, I'm going to be auditing that task as a manager. That's what you need to do. If you get the script and if you think something needs to be added, go back and tell the prompt, hey, this is missing. Please add this. Please add this element. Please add this element. No, please remove this element. Once you have that, you will see that rest of the work is being done by them. It's just like how you hire a copywriter. When you hire a copywriter, what do they ask? Give me the product name. What do you want? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to sell? What are you trying to push? What's your goal at the end of the video? You give all of the details and the copywriter will write the initial script. Done, right? Now, once you have the first draft, chances are you're not going to be happy with the very first draft. Now you will ask the person, the copywriter, to edit something. They would go back, make those changes, and come back again till the time you are like, okay, this is now perfect. This is exactly how ChatGPT would work. It's your assistant. So prompt is not the differentiating factor. It's how you interact with the prompt is going to be the differentiating factor. And that's where the opportunity sort of like really kicks in for you. And this is why I told you 95% of your job would be done by AI. 5% of the job needs to be human. You cannot just blindly copy and paste and get going. That's where the 5% of the auditing process comes into picture. So I hope that helps out. Yes, we will be keeping a specific GPT session for blog on 29th. So make sure that you guys are joining as well. I've already shared the Luma link with you guys. Make sure that you join in. That's again 100% free webinar. Again, all of our webinars are actually 100%. So we want to make sure that we impart more knowledge, share with you guys more and more, that you guys can learn and educate. You don't need to pay for crazy webinars, crazy ed tech companies who are going to charge you bomb or buy like stupid, crazy, expensive courses, right? None of those things are required if you just join our webinars, because this is what we do. We always share some awesome, amazing stuff with you guys in every single webinar, because that's our goal. We want you guys to succeed in whatever you're doing. That's our goal. But again, anything that we have shared, make sure that you guys actually implement it, right? Because if you're not going to implement it, it's good to learn, but it's not good to just learn, right? Go ahead, execute it, implement it. The first time it might take you a little longer, but the second, third time, you'll start shrinking down on the time and you'll be able to complete and get done a lot of crazy stuff. So let's see, guys, the seminar is amazing, but it's dragging too long. Blah, blah. Perfect. All right. I hope the session was incredibly amazing for you guys. So with that, let's just announce some winners, Awesome. So copying a just purchase plan, see, awesome. Congratulations. So let's dive into the winner. So the first winner, Jack, who is your favorite question of the day? There are so many amazing questions, but who according to you was the best question of the day?
There's so many questions. I can't remember which one was which. Let me go back through. Richard, you've been answering a lot of questions. Which one did you?
I think Jamil had lots of amazing questions. So yeah.
Jamil, are you still there in the webinar? Jamil, are you still there?
Jamil. It was Jamil.
Yeah,
No,
it
it's
is.
Jamil. Jamil. Jamil.
Yeah.
I'll just count until 5. Constance, yes, you can upgrade, but the +1 offer won't be applied on the upgrade. So now the time, whatever plan you want to get, now is the perfect time because you're going to be getting the equivalent +1, whatever you get right now during the webinar. So if you're buying a C plan right now, you'll be getting +1 for C as well. So if you decide to upgrade and if the deal is still live, the +1 will not be upgraded for the same. So make sure that whatever decision you're making for +1, now is the time. So Jamil, since Jamil is not here, let's pick another winner. Let's just ask another best question of the day because Jamil is not here.
I saw Madge. Madge was quite active in the chat. I didn't see any questions, but she was quite, he or she, Madge. I'm not sure if that's a.
So Madge, are you still here? If you are, just say hi. There you go, Madge is your Madge. Congratulations. You have won the first giveaway code today. So make sure that you send us your email. We'll copy it down so that we can push it to your PitchGround account. Make sure you share that in private. Just use the private option and send it to me right now, your email address, so that we can credit it to your account. So congratulations on that. Now, this is going to be the interesting one, right? Put in your fingers on your keyboard, and whoever types Imvidu first in the chat wins the code. Whoever types in Imvidu first. Oh my God.
There you go.
Okay. So it looks like game. How do I pronounce it?
Gamil Sibanda.
Gemil. So congratulations, Gemil. Wow, that was crazy.
That was really quick.
That was
Because
microseconds.
You
Microseconds.
have won the second code. Again, just send us your email in host and panelist, and we will credit your code in your PitchGround account. So congratulations, you are the second person to win the code. Let me just check if anyone has posted on social media as of now yet. If you have posted in any of the social media, please just comment below and let us know which social media you have posted in so that we can quickly check and announce the third winner of the giveaway. One of you have posted on social media already about today's webinar. Do let us know so that we can give you the code. I don't think anyone has posted. I'm not seeing any. All right. So in this case, what we'll do is for the third giveaway, whoever is active right now, right, from the attendees, Jack, just pick one person.
We'll make Nathan happy. He said, give it to anyone that's here. Not everyone asked a question. So Nathan, I think you get it.
Awesome, Nathan. Congratulations. You have won the third code. Just give your email address in host and panelist so that we can credit the giveaway code in your account. Awesome. With that, guys, we've copied. So everyone, make sure that your emails are registered with PitchGround because that's the only way we can credit. But apart from that, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the webinar. I hope you guys learned something new today. I hope you would find Imvidu helpful, and I hope you have taken the advantage of 1+1 offer because as soon as this webinar ends, there will be 5-minute window where you can make your purchase, grab the deal, and just fill in the form. And you guys will get, and again, we'll be hosting another webinar where this time, the next time, we'll do some more crazy madness stuff where we'll try to record live, right? It will be a little lengthy webinar, by the way, the next one, because again, there will be live stuff. So we'll try to record one whole script live right in front of you, right from scripting to recording to putting it up in Imvidu. It's the first of the kind of webinar that even I have not done ever in my life. I'm not sure anyone has done it, but hey, let's push something to some more madness and actually show you guys more processes. So it's going to be a lot more fun. So make sure to wait for that announcement. It's going to be crazy, amazing webinar once again. With that, we'll be wrapping up. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys had amazing time. Thank you so much, Jack. Thank you so much, Rajat, for joining in. I hope you guys had amazing time as well. And before we wrap up, any closing lines you guys have for everyone?
No, thank you very much. Look, we really look forward to, helping you guys create way more content, way faster. That's our motto, that's our vision. And yeah, and join us in our Facebook group as well. We'll share our journey. You can ask questions. We'll have more demos and tutorials and everything in there. So yeah, look forward to it.
Awesome, guys. More madness coming in and more chat GPT session coming for you guys as well. So that leverage that, I'm going to make sure you guys would not need any course after you join all of the webinars. That's my promise and guarantee you guys, because the way you guys support us will make sure we give back 100x more so that you can drive growth during this recession. With that, we'll be wrapping up. Good morning to everyone in the North America. Everyone, good evening who are in Europe. Good night to everyone who is in Oceania and Asia. Have a great one, everyone. And keep producing more contents, keep making more videos, and keep growing. Until then, have a great one, guys. And we'll keep fueling your growth every single day. Bye.
Bye, guys.